We are talking to Ntsumbeni Mavhungu, the Industrial Marketing Director Industrial. We've just been talking to Andrew Webb, your colleague from the automotive side.
Okay.
And we've been hearing all these wonderful things about automotive batteries.
Yes.
But of course this country runs on the industrial side.
Correct.
And industry and mining relies heavily on batteries.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah, for critical applications.
Now, if you can just tell me, what is the history of batteries in industrial and in mining?
If we start with the industrial side, the industrial side is mainly divided into two. You would have what we call a standby, and then you would have what we call mining. In the standby side, the batteries started in early 1800s with a guy called Gaston Plante. That is the guy who invented the battery. And over the years, that battery has been evolving. And most of those batteries today, we're using them in power stations and also in substations and for mission critical components. And the industrial side has mainly been because of, underground. One thing that you don't want is you don't want combustion-driven engines. And because you need to haul out your ore, you need something that you can use. And the mines use the locomotives to haul out the ore. So those batteries that you use for the locomotives are what we would sell here. And they'll be called, they will be mainly tubular batteries. That's what we will be selling to them.
And then the battery itself, the automotive battery and the industrial battery, basically do the same thing. They work on the same principles. Except I assume the industrial battery and the mining batteries are far longer lasting, far more powerful, and far more impressive.
You're very right. If you look at the different applications, the automotive battery, you would want it to be able to give you good cranking current. But the industrial battery, you would want something that can cycle, something that you can discharge and then charge again, and it gives you much longer life. Hence the difference between the two.
And so is that this reference to deep cycle batteries?
Correct.
Which is also applicable, for instance, like for caravanners, they use deep cycle batteries.
Correct.
For their fridges, etc.
Yes. And also for solar application.
Solar application?
Yes.
Okay, what role does a battery play in solar application?
A battery in solar application works as a storage device. Where you're gonna have, you're gonna consume your power, or you'll, get your power from the solar panels. Through the regulator, you'll charge the batteries, and then the batteries will store the energy or the power for you, which you'll either use directly as DC, or you will invert into AC.
So now we're talking something that's good environmentally.
It is.
And do you see a much bigger future for solar power in these applications?
Yes, I think if you look at the drive, the environmental drive, it's pushing more and more towards clean energy. And I think there's going to be a very good future for solar powered, of course, wind and other clean energy solutions that are out there. And most of them would need storage device. At the moment, the most reliable and used storage device is the battery.
Okay, so it's not just solar, it's wind power, tide power, anything that can create energy that can be stored.
Correct.
Oh, well then, obviously, the battery manufacturers are working very hard at creating more efficient storage devices.
Correct, and I think that evolution will still go on because, the idea is to be able to store megawatts instead of storing what we're storing now. Be able to store megawatt hours instead of probably storing just watt hours. And I think that development will carry on into the future.
So the battery is truly an environmental marvel. Because not only is it recyclable, I heard somewhere it was 98% recyclable.
Correct.
It is also a storage device for these environmentally friendly power sources.
Correct.
So the battery is the component of the past and the component of the future.
Yes, and I think the battery will still be around even past our lifetime because they will still be very relevant. Specifically the lead acid battery, which is what First National Battery produce. we still believe it's still going to have a future, even in the terms of our kids, because it's still, you know, the cheapest in terms of manufacturing. You still can recycle it, like you said, up to 98, 99%, and the processes of manufacturing it is not as complex as other types of technology.